Hello, my Teaserking family. Pardon me there. So I'm a little confused. Gold spot is 25.11. We've made our number. However, gold at gold price is 24.72. So I'm not quite sure. We got our 2,500 on spot. If that's what we needed, now we're at 3,000, or we need this to go to 2,500. I'll try to figure out the difference. Silver roughly 28. Still not moving. Gold, as you see, did not drop at all. It just simply went up, where silver had a 10 o'clock drop. So they're doing the derivative on silver, but not on gold today. So I'm wondering why gold is 25.11 there and not 25.11 here. These normally are very close. Like if the spot gold was 24.70, this was 24.65. Well, not today. Today we got 25.06 now. As you can see, it went straight up. Oh, there we go. That's what I thought it was, 25.11. At 4.11, it's 4.21. Yeah, this must close at 4.11. So anyway, we got 25.12. So I'm not sure what's going on, but it's good news regardless. All right. Let's look at our baseball yesterday. So let's look at baseball yesterday. We had Houston over 10 winner, Yankees over 10 winner, San Diego over 7.5 winner, Baltimore over 8. I don't know what's going on with them. Loser, Milwaukee under 8 winner, Cleveland winner, Colorado over 10 winner. The 49ers lost to Detroit somehow with the 5 200 hitters. Pitt under 8. Philadelphia over 8, and the Mets under 7.5 won. I'll go 8-3. So I have a bad day last Monday, and then Tuesday is that, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are gold, Jerry. Just had a huge day. So I'm listening to the morons on the sports talk radio. You know, who's Detroit's biggest threat in the NFC Central? Really? Green Bay will win it. Caleb looked terrible. J.J. McCarthy, we know, sucks. Handing the ball off all the time. I'm not sure how good golf is. Now, I guess Hooker got a concussion, so we'll see how bad that is. And off we go. So I'm not sure what to do there. I would say Green Bay wins it easily, and then I'm not sure how good Minnesota. Well, we all know that Sam Darnold's stuff is terrible. And we know Caleb's terrible. So I think Detroit gets second. See, Caleb's a lot like Fields. Fields is on Pittsburgh, and he's looking for, who nobody's open, he can't throw it, which is the problem with most of these running quarterbacks. They don't know how to read a defense. They don't know how to read a receiver. They play street ball like C.J. Stroud and I'm not even sure you would call what Caleb does. He just runs around, but he's not going to do that in the pros because they're going to blitz him, and he's going to go down. It's going to be Notre Dame every game, and he's just going to get fucked. Anyway, so we will see. A couple of the non-drafted quarterbacks that are better than most of these guys are, I think it's Jason Bean from Kansas was outstanding. We know Hartman is better than most of these guys. I ran into that last year when all these first rounders sucked, and then you had Stenson Benson and Hayner and Hooker, not going in the first round, and they were the better quarterbacks. So we'll see what happens now. Actually, there's a better, I think Indy's got Bean. He should start ahead of Richardson. He's much better than Richardson, my God. I mean, he played at Kansas, and they averaged 40 points a game. You better be a pretty good quarterback to do that. Caleb didn't average 40 a game. Oh, sorry about that. All right, so we'll get to football in a minute. All right, let's go to baseball today. 6:40 game. The Cubs in Cleveland. The Cubs 120-8. Shotei Manangagaga 9-2 with the 3.06. Ben Lively 10-7 with the 3.59. We got to go under here. Cleveland with the great bullpen under 8, 2 units. I mean, Igbenaga, I don't know, 9-2 with the 3.06, and then Ben Lively 10-7 with the 3.59. So he's pretty good. And then you get to that Cleveland bullpen, and Cubs aren't scoring much anyway. Cards in Cincinnati. St. Louis 135, 8.5. Sonny Ray 11-6, 3.65. Andrew Abbott 9-9 with the 3.70, which leads us to the bullpen here. St. Louis with a 3.73 bullpen, and Cincinnati with a 3.55. So the bullpens are decent. You got 2 decent pitchers. Let's go under 8.5. We'll go 2 units. Yesterday, I updated my ERA and my batting averages. And, not much different. Pretty much the batting averages are done. They're like a couple moved a point or two. The ERAs are still all over the place. We had one, the Dodgers went from 3.57 to 3.65. Miami went from 3.69 to 3.98. What the hell is that? So the bullpen does move far too much. You got a lot of bad pitchers there. But yet the managers have no idea what they're doing. And they don't really have aces because they're pitching the guys every day. Well, I know when John Hiller was closing for the Tigers, he pitched every day. Not a problem. They went to the World Series and won it. All right. Houston and Tampa Bay, interesting game. Houston's a minus 130-7. Framler Valdez, 11-5, 3.46 for Houston. Ty Bradley, 6-6 with the 3.07. How in the world do you bet Houston under? I can't. It's in Tampa. Over under a 7. I gotta go over here. Houston over 7. I don't care who's pitching. Could be Verlander pitching. I think I'd go 3 units. So Ty Bradley, 6-6 at the 307. All right. And Framber Valdez, 11-5 at the 346. Okay, it goes 6 innings. Then you get to the bullpen. Tampa Bay's bull is a 392 bullpen. And Houston's is a 368. Got a pretty good bullpen. This is why Houston's such a good team. You got when Verlander's going, you got a couple of really good starters, good bullpen, and they're hitting. Houston's hitting 261 at home and 260 on the road. That's a good team. I need to get a water. 1 second, please. Okay, sorry about that. So we got Houston under. I mean, we got good pitchers, but they're in the 3s. You could get Houston get all 7. You only need 7 runs. Texas and Boston. Texas is not hitting this year. Texas is hitting 238 at home or on the road with the 4.62 ERA. They're not a good team. Boston a 125-9. Tyler Mile 0-1 with a 1.80. Sounds like a bullpenner. Brian Bello 10-5 at the 5.16. Texas does not have a good bullpen. What I've been noticing is these pitchers will pitch the first inning and then they're done. What is this? What sport am I watching? This guy's only pitched 2 times, pitched 5 innings, gave up 1 run to Houston. And that's it. That was August. So he's either just brought up or off the injury. So let's go. I'm not going to play anything, probably an over game, but we'll let it go. KC, Minnesota. Super Bowl 4. Minnesota minus 168.5. Brady Singer 8-7 with the 303. Pablo Lopez 10-8 with the 474. We like Brady Singer, but he doesn't win a lot. Minnesota. KC with the 4.28 ERA, and they're on the road. They only hit 236. They hit 270 at home and 236 on the road. Minnesota, a 3.97 bullpen, 266 at home, 239 on the road, and they're at home. So you give the edge to Minnie, but you don't want to bet against Brady Singer and Pablo Lopez with the 4.74. I'm going to go over here. And I'm just going to go 2 units. I'm not getting too excited. The Yankees in Chicago, White Sox. Louis Gill, 12-5 with a 306. Kai Bush, 0-1 with a 6.75. Go Yankees. Beat Navy. Yankees, 5 units. I'm not fucking with an over-under here. Just pound them, Yankees. Come on, Judge. Have 5-6 home runs today. The Dodgers and Milwaukee. The Dodgers 115-8. Clayton Kershaw, 0-2 with the 4.38. He's done. Freddie Peralta, 7-6 with the 4.02. Over under 8. Kershaw always plays high scoring games. I'm going over 8. I'll just go 2 units. Toronto and California. Toronto minus 105-9. Bowden Francis, 4-3 with a 5.44 against Dave Davis from the Pro Bowler Store. 1-3 with a 604. Sounds like an over. Yeah, we'll go Toronto over 9. We'll go 2 units. I'd rather see Johnny Petraglia than Dave Davis pitching in baseball. Pittsburgh, San Diego. San Diego minus 208. Marco Gonzalez, 101 with the 4.54 against Joe Musgrove, 3-4 with the 5.66. Also an over. San Diego over only 8. Wow. 3 units. Colorado against Arizona. Arizona's 300. Jesus, 8.5. Cal Quintrell, 7-8, 4.56 against Brandon Pfaadt, 6-6 and 3.92. I'm not all that high on Brandon Pfaadt, but I do like the over here. Arizona over 8.5, 3 units. And last but not least is Atlanta against the 49ers. Atlanta minus 115, 6.5. Chris Sale, 13-3, 275 against Blake Snell, who just pitched a no-hitter a time or two ago. So we're going to take Atlanta with Chris Sale, but this time just 3 units. I had him for 5 units, and he lost last game. So busy day today. Cleveland under 8, 2 units. Cincinnati, I got to make under 8.5, 2 units. Houston over 7, 3 units. Minnesota over 8.5, 2 units. The Yankees, 5 units. The Dodgers over 8, 2 units. Toronto over 9, 2 units. San Diego over 8, 3 units. Arizona over 8.5, 3 units. Atlanta, 3 units. There you have baseball. All right. Pro football. My man, Stenson Benson, pulls it out on the last play of the game. Never a doubt with Stenson. My friend Scott, he always calls in the middle of class. No matter when it is, he'll find me then. All right, we had Denver and Indy yesterday. Then we'll recap. Denver, 34-30. Let's look at the box score. All right, Bo Nix, 50-21, 125 yards, and 1 touch and no sacks. He does not get sacked, and no picks. Zach Wilson, 10-13, 117 yards. He'll probably be better on Denver. I think the Jets' offensive coordinator is really tough, except for Aaron. He's probably Aaron Rodgers' guy. And Stidham from Auburn, 4-7, 37 yards. So it's Bo Nix, and then Zach will be a decent backup here. Indy, Sam Ellinger from Texas, 5-6, 80 yards, and an interception. Jason Bead from Kansas, very good. He's their best quarterback. 4-6 for 51 yards, a touch, 1 sack for 4 yards, but he had the touchdown. Kenlon Slovis, who was at USC and 18 different schools, Pitt and BYU, 3-5, 39 yards, 1 sack. He's very good also. What the fuck is Joe Flacco doing there? 3-5 for nothing for 28 yards. And Richardson, what is he doing in? 2-4, 25 yards. And you got him in to run. He ran 1 time for run. Bean ran 4 times for 24. But he's a quarterback. Bean's the best quarterback on Indy. It's not even close because Richardson doesn't know what he's doing. He can't throw the ball. It's like Fields. These guys the running guys can't throw the ball. That's why they're holding on to the ball for 15 minutes. They don't know what's open. They don't know how to read coverage. They can't read blitzes. All I want to do is run. I was watching one highlight. The guy's running the college option play. The quarterback faked the ball and ran around it. And I'm like, what are they doing? This is how stupid the offensive coordinators are, right? Okay, so let's go. Rushing. Estamine for Denver. Notre Dame, 10 of 31. One touch. McLaughlin, I don't know, 730. B. Watson, I don't know, 9 of 26 with a touch. Bo Nix ran 3 times, 17 yards. And that's it. And then Indy, Bean runs 4 for 24 with an 11-yarder. Bean's good running too, but he's a good passer. Hall, 8 for 16. Goodson, 7 to 50. I don't know. Jonathan Taylor, 2 for 4. Richardson, 1 for 1. Receiving, Sutton, 2 for 35 for Denver. And then there are Mims, 2 of 17. Estamine, 3 for 13. And Indy, DJ Montgomery, I never heard of, 2 for 45. Mallory, 2 for 31. Ollie Cox, I've heard of only because he's got a funny name, 1 for 19. Trey Sermon, I think, was a running back for Oklahoma. He's still in the league. And that's it. I don't know these other guys. So 34-30 Bo Nix, really high scoring game. But that's what you get with Bo Nix. And I don't know why anybody's surprised. And then the Rams 13, the Cowboys 12. Stenson Benson comes through after throwing 4 interceptions. But that's the thing with Stenson. He throws the 4 interceptions. But with 11 seconds left, he hits Miller Forrestal, who I have no idea, and a 6-yard touchdown to win the game. But here's my point. Oh, I think it was Lance who ran that option because I was watching those highlights yesterday. So Lance, here's the difference. Lance goes 25 for 41, 188 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, sacked 3 times. Cooper Rush, 2 of 3. They had a beautiful pass, no touches. Stenson Benson, 24 of 38 for 224. Lance throws 25 for 188. Benson, 24 for 224. That's the difference. He's a real quarterback. He's like a real boy, like Pinocchio. 1 touchdown, 4 picks, and 2 sacks. So, obviously the interceptions were all short. It was always to a linebacker underneath that he must not have seen or didn't realize the linebackers get that much depth in the NFL. But again, he didn't play last year. So he'll win you the playoff games. He didn't win the Super Bowl. He won 2 championships in college. Dallas, leading rusher, Trey Lance, 6 rushes, 44 yards. M. Davis, 8 of 18. Dowdell, 3 of 14. Connor, don't know, Neat Burnett. L.A., B. Scott, I think it's Boston Scott from Philadelphia, 15 for 68, 14. And Z. Evans, 12 of 28. And Stenson was 1 of 5 for 5 yards. 1 rush, 5 yards. That's the Georgia way, efficient. He's still good even without Brock Bowers. Receiving, Dallas, anybody that we recognize? No, not really. The Rams. Stoops, Evans, Morristal caught the big touchdown. Boston Scott, 3 for 10. So, imagine if Stenson Benson had Pukanuka and Cooper Kupp. Imagine that. All right. So, a bad game for him, but it was like yards-wise, he throws for 224. 24, 38, 2 is fine. The interceptions were short. He can work on those, get used to that. But what you can't coach is at the end of the game, he got you a touchdown to win the game. Trey Lance had the ball deep 4 times and kicked field goals. And that's the difference. These running quarterbacks, Lamar and Lance and Hurts, Even Josh Allen, they don't score because they don't know how to read a defense and get in coverage and everything. So this is your problem. So let's review. So New England 17-3, Drake May does 0. Carolina, Steve Young, the worst quarterback in the league, doesn't play for some reason. The Giants don't play Daniel Jones. The Lions don't play Goff. Hooker plays a little bit, gets concussion. Will he be ready for this week? Because they play Saturday at Kansas City. Miami and Atlanta. Penix has a good game. Miami, let's see what happened here. Penix 9 of 16 for 104 yards. Skylar Thompson 8 of 19, 95. See, that's the thing. Penix throws 9 times 104. Thompson 8 for only 95. And then we get into, I don't know, these running backs and receivers yet. I would imagine you're going to see them next week. Houston, Pitt, CJ Stroud throws 2 for 3 or something. Pitt doesn't start. Russell Wilson starts Fields. Fields had 2 fumbles from center. How do you not take the snap? I mean, he couldn't even take the snap. And then has a terrible game. A couple of sacks, a couple of fumbles, one good pass. I mean, he's terrible. Because this is the preseason. This is going against 3rd and 4th stringers on the other team. If you can't show up now, you ain't going to show up against the starters. I guarantee you that. Philly wins 16-13. Hey, Gregor John. Wow, Brock Bowers looked okay. Brock Bowers is Rookie of the Year. I would bet on that in a heartbeat. Depending on what the thing is. Depending on the odds, I would probably play Brock Bowers with either Penix or Nix. No, I'm eating a pita bread. There's nothing on it. It's just pita bread. Just back from swimming. I went a little later today. The Jets 20, Washington 17. Again, we had who's our boy from LSU? Daniels looked really good. Hartman looked really good, and Aaron Rodgers didn't play, but that's okay. The Bears. All right, I watched their highlights. Caleb's didn't do shit. Caleb goes back to pass. He's about to get sacked. He closes his eye. He throws a 2-yard pass to the running back, and he goes 40 yards with it. And you want to credit. So let's take that play away as if it's just a handoff, because that was not like he threw a 30-yard pass. Boy, there's the media they're loving Caleb. He's the man. So he's 4 of 7 with the 40-yarder, which was a handoff to the running back. So let's go 3 of 6, and he's 50 yards. He had one good pass. But what gets you is, all right, no touchdowns, but he did get no sacks. And then Mitch Trubisky, what is he doing on Buffalo? Jesus. So let's see. He really sucks, but he's got experience. And even if we put him out there, he'll suck. He's so bad, Pitt got rid of him. Pitt got rid of him and signed Fields. This is how bad Trubisky is. Caleb, I don't know. This guy on the radio is, oh, well, he's so excited. Look at, oh, Caleb. Oh, he's the best thing since sliced bread. Like, okay, enough, guy. Wow. Mini 24, Oakland 23. Brock Bowers, big game. Minshew for Oakland. J.J. McCarthy looked okay. And then, okay, we didn't see that at Michigan. He never threw the ball. So, okay, he can throw. Let's see him against better competition. Let's see him with Oakland's first team out there and watch him get sacked. See, he's going to get sacked a lot. He doesn't know what he's doing, but we'll see. Green Bay 23, Cleveland 10. Yeah, Bo Nix did good. I said that. Green Bay 23-10. We had Thompson Robinson from UCLA as the starter, and Green Bay had Love throw one pass. Tampa Bay 17. Cincy Burrow came out, threw a touchdown. That was it. He's got white hair now, or blonde hair now. Tampa Bay, they played Trask. He looked pretty good. Tennessee 17, Frisco 13. No Brock Purdy for Frisco. Tennessee, Will Levis, and then that other guy who's terrible. Levis needs a lot of work. Jacksonville 26, KC 13. Mahomes did play a little bit. Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence played a little bit. Seattle 16, San Diego 3. San Diego's in big trouble. They have Herbert's hurt anyway, but if and when he's not, they don't have receivers or they have one running back in Joshua Kelly. So San Diego has got a good guard from Notre Dame, and you could have had Brock Bowers, the best player in the draft by a mile. So whatever. You know what you're doing, Harbaugh. That could be the dumbest move I've ever seen in my life. And I guess what's even dumber is there was other teams that passed on Brock Bowers that took crap, right? Offensive linemen. Like, you can get those later, boys. You can't get Brock Bowers later, maybe in 10 years. So Seattle, San Diego is going to struggle scoring and have a good defense. That'll be San Diego's year. New Orleans 16, Arizona 14. Haener played well. I'm not a big fan of what's his name. I want to call him Rooster. What's his? What's Bozo's name? Spencer Rattler. That's what it is. He's just a choke, unfortunately. Arizona 14. Kyler Murray didn't play. Then we just went and talked about Denver. And then we talked about Stenson Benson. So Stenson looked good. Bo Nix looked good. My guy from Kansas, these guys on the radio don't even know who he is. Jason Bean, guy's fantastic. Puts up 40 points a game for Kansas. These guys never heard of him. So he's no good because they never heard of him. Because they're not following Kansas because they don't know how to bet. Kansas has been an over for 3 years now. They're incredible. They score left and right. You bet them over. The over-unders are like 45. They do that by the third quarter. Very rarely don't they get 45 points. It's just they just know how to score. And good offense, good coach. Lance Leopold from Wisconsin Whitewater or one of those. And then he went to Buffalo, and they were very good. And now he's at Kansas, and he's turning that program around, something that the big fat Notre Dame coach couldn't do. All right. So that's the highlights. Let's look at this week. Philadelphia at New England. Now, in a regular game, Philly would kill them. New England's going to play Drake May, and then and Zappy look good. Philly, Jalen Hurts. I don't know what else they're doing. Atlanta, we got Penix. Penix would just light up Lamar. He did one of those nice floaters in for 40 yards. last week, Penix. It just laid right in the guy's arm like he was doing at Washington. But good luck, watching Lamar ever do that in his life. It will never happen. So we'll see. Cincinnati, Burrow, and watch Caleb have a hard time with Cincinnati. They had a pretty good defense. And so we'll see. Will Chase play? Giants against Houston. Oh, my God, what a terrible game. Will Daniel Jones play? Probably now, because all the other quarterbacks are starting to play. Oh, okay, we'll get him out there for the first series. Houston, CJ Stroud. I'm not impressed. Detroit, watched Jared Goff play a little. Mahomes did play. Hopefully Hooker can go. I want to see Hooker more. He's definitely the better quarterback, but if you don't play him, he's not. Minnesota, Cleveland. So you're going to have Thompson Robinson against J.J. McCarthy. Seattle, Tennessee. You're going to have Geno Smith and his. Well, I don't remember the backup yet against Malik Willis and the other guy from Kentucky. The other guy. Arizona against Indy. Will Kyler Murray play in Indy? Hopefully we see more of Jason Bean from Kansas. He's their best quarterback. But they paid all their money to Richardson. So they made a mistake paying Richardson, but too bad. See, Atlanta, at least they paid Cousins, but they did not make a mistake drafting Penix. So we will see Penix. Especially when Cousins starts throwing interceptions and bad balls and losing games. Then they'll go, why don't we throw Penix out there? Washington and Miami, Skylar Thompson for Miami. Washington will have Daniels and Hertman. Buffalo, Pittsburgh. Buffalo, Josh Allen played 2 or 3 plays. Pittsburgh, what are you going to do? Go with Fields? They're not going with Russell Wilson, so it'll be Fields and watching him fumble the ball all over the place. I don't know if he'll make training camp because Tomlin was really pissed off. He had 2 fumbles from center, and Tomlin's just shake my head, Bobby. He's just giving one of those. And Fields, man, he's terrible. He can't even take the snap from center. Wow. The JETSs against the Panthers. The JETSs will go with. I don't remember their backup. He was decent, and of course Aaron Rodgers, Carolina. If they don't play Steve Young this week, they're out of their minds. He if anybody needs to play like 3/4 of a game, it's Steve Young. Rams in San Diego. The Rams should kill them. San Diego, no quarterback, maybe Stick. I don't know. He was any good, and nothing, and no receivers, even the starters. Against the Rams, and now can go with Stenson Benson. Watch him light up the Chargers. I would bet on the Rams with Stenson Benson. Oh, I love this. LA's -1. Well, LA's playing LA. How the fuck can LA be -1? Unbelievable. That's why I say San Diego, because if I say San Diego, you don't get it confused with the Rams. But if I say LA, like this odds is saying, well, who am I? Which team's favored? LA. Well, which LA? They're so stupid. They both play in the same stadium. Like, really? Tampa Bay, Jacksonville. Jacksonville -3, 37.5. Tampa Bay. My guy Trask. He's very good. Jacksonville. What are they going to go to? Mac Wilson and Trevor Lawrence, 2 idiots. Dallas at Oakland. We got Prescott didn't play, so we got Trey Lance again and Cooper Rush. And against Oakland, we got Minshew, we got Brock Bowers. Maybe our defensive tackle plays. Green Bay, Denver, we got Love against Bo Nix. I like Bo Nix. New Orleans against the Niners. I don't know if Purdy will play against New Orleans. We got Hader, and Rattler, so New Orleans should be good here. The Niners don't really have a great backup. All right. So that's your football. All right. That'd be football. That'd be baseball. Let's look at brics. COMEX today. So gold's up to 24.72 on COMEX, but on the futures, it's 25.11. Normally, there's not that big of a difference between what we look at on my chart and what futures are. But the fact that the futures broke 25, we should be heading to 3,000. I think this is finally it. Everything's collapsing in China. China enters trash time. Let's take a look at that.
Plus a car loan of $1,600.
This is what Chinese Vice Foreign Minister Hua Chunying described as a happy Chinese people. Whether it's on the streets, under bridges, in underground passages, or even in public restrooms, they are filled with homeless vagrants. Have you ever seen this real China?
Despite the Chinese government's efforts to manipulate economic data and hide the real financial situation, the reality of widespread unemployment, companies on the brink of bankruptcy, and the collapse of property firms is becoming increasingly apparent to the world. Looking at social media in China, posts about layoffs, unemployment, and the difficulty of finding a job are everywhere. These unemployed individuals are burdened with mortgage and car loan payments, as well as the costs of raising children and caring for elderly parents, and they don't know what to do. Many, under financial pressure, have become Didi, China's version of Uber drivers, delivery drivers, or become content creators, working themselves to exhaustion without being able to take a break. One of these individuals is a young man delivering food. Despite repeatedly collapsing from exhaustion, he continues to work because the pressures of life won't allow him to stop. A self-media blogger in Zhengzhou, Henan, posted a video discussing unemployment on his channel, which resonated with many viewers. He shared that his company had already laid off employees. Recently, he had a meal with a laid-off colleague who broke down in tears while talking about his struggles, which deeply saddened the blogger. His colleague, who is slightly older and comes from a rural background, has a child and a monthly mortgage of over 4,000 yuan, plus a car loan of 1,600 yuan. He never imagined he would be laid off, so he didn't budget his spending. When he was called to the office on the day of the layoffs, he was terrified. He had gone home and told his wife what happened, wanting to cry, but unable to. During their meal,
They got idiots in China too. I'll never get laid off. Who the hell thinks like that? You got to budget. That's why you budget. That's why we buy gold, because you have to. We don't wait for the boat to sink to start buying gold. We're way ahead of the game. We're buying gold now, and now I don't know what my guy's selling it for. If it's 2,500, he's selling it for 26. But I don't know. Normally the spot is what I got. So let's say it's 24.70. He's selling it for 25.70, 25.80. So you're going to wait till the boat sinks to buy the gold at $5,000 an ounce, or you're going to buy it cheap and wait for it to go up. We're just waiting. We're in the elevator and we're pushing the buttons. Okay, you can start going. Amazing. All the homeless. So China's a fuck city, but they have 60,000 tons of gold. And wait till they start stealing the gold from the people. Like the people have these savings accounts with gold and silver in it. Wait till the banks start saying, no, you're sorry. They got to go to the government. There's no way the government's letting them keep their gold. Come on. So 60,000 tons of gold, a lot of gold. When they're waiting to recover their economy and help their people, I don't know. I don't know if communism works that way. I wouldn't think so. Anyway, so we'll see. September's coming soon with the summit, and then October and the BRICS summit. So we can see what's going to happen. Anyway, China just keeps crashing and crashing, and let's take a little bit.
His colleague drank heavily and started crying. He said that the 25th of each month was his mortgage payment due date, and he had just paid his car loan a few days earlier. Without a new job, he doesn't know how he would manage the next month. He had already sent out about 20 resumes, but had not received any responses. Seeing his colleague, the blogger thought of himself. He said, "If it were me who got laid off, I'd feel the same way. In middle age, with parents and children to care for, mortgages and car loans to pay, and all these financial pressures, we finally understand what it means to be stuck in a difficult situation." A self-media personality in Henan said that her husband also lost his job, finalizing his resignation in early July. Her husband, born in the 1980s, had been living in Kunming for 11 years. He worked for his former company for nearly 11 years and for his new company for 3 months before being caught up in the wave of unemployment. She said, "Now with no source of income, we are at a loss. Middle-age unemployment is terrifying. We have parents and children to care for, rent and living expenses to cover. The job market has been bad for the past 2 years, with companies large and small laying off employees. I heard that many companies..."
Well, I mean, this goes on everywhere, that people get laid off and people, that's why you have to save. You have to prepare as if you're not working and have probably a good 6 to 8 months of things. That's why you got to be careful and budget and save. And, this is what I warn the Bitcoin people with. You better take your profit before, once this depression hits, you're going to be fucked. You'll have your money in Bitcoin, but the money won't be worth anything. And you're going to need that money to, pay for it. So it's all coming here. That's why I'm showing you China. Jenna said, "Well, I don't care about China. I'm in the middle of a war." She's my Ukrainian. She says, "I'm in the middle of a war." And I go, "Well, it's coming." And you're watching China like I don't feel sorry for them. I'm in a war. And I go, "I'm not telling you. I'm just showing you. Here it comes, right? It's going to hit Ukraine worse than it is. So you've got to be prepared for it." Let's see what else is in this.
Since the first quarter of last year. Additionally, the value-added output of industrial enterprises above a designated size grew by 6% in the first half of the year, but only by 5.3% in June. Similarly, consumption and investment growth followed the same pattern. In the first half of this year, China's total retail sales of consumer goods were approximately 23.6 trillion yuan, a year-on-year increase of 3.7%, but the growth rate in June was only 2%, with a month-on-month decline of 0.12%. Based in the U.S., Economist David Huang stated that the National Bureau of Statistics statements resemble political propaganda more than an accurate reflection of the economy. He explained, when we look closely at the detailed data, the situation doesn't look good. Overall, there might be a slight increase in 1 month, but then growth slows down the next month, indicating that the economy is still unstable and in a downward trend. For example, when there are many orders, industrial output might increase suddenly, making it seem better for that month. But if the products aren't sold, the next batch of orders decreases, so the economy can't be considered to be growing. Instead, it's still hitting bottom. The actual economic situation is that there is significant downward pressure, and we don't see any signs of improvement. It will likely take some time to hit bottom, so the situation is not as optimistic as the CCP claims. The continuous decline in the Chinese real estate market further illustrates this point. According to the latest data from the National Bureau of Statistics, real estate development investment in China fell by 10.1% in the first half of this year. Meanwhile, the sales area of newly built homes nationwide decreased by 19% year on year, and sales of newly built commercial housing dropped by 25%.
All right, so we get it. They're all fucked up. Let's see anything here. So I showed you this last night. We can go through it again.
Now, Southern California's news leader, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
In case you haven't saw my video
Investment for
last night.
retirement wiped out. So where's the money? Part 2 of our investigation into Oxford Gold. Welcome back. I'm Michelle Fisher. I'm Giovanna Lotta. You're watching Eyewitness News at 5, live on ABC7, Hulu, and wherever you stream. We first told you about the company last month and the customers who say they invested big money only to have it vanish. Eyewitness News reporter Carlos Granda went looking for answers to the questions, where's the money, and is there anything those customers can now do? And here's what he found.
My fear is that, I'm not going to get the money back.
Scott Dahl says after he changed jobs, he invested a big chunk of his 401k with Oxford Gold Group. He won't tell us how much, but he says his retirement is now in jeopardy. He says he did an online search and found good reviews for Oxford Gold, and he says they were very convincing.
They send out this is an investment guide. I mean, this thing's probably 15 or 20 pages of just high-end, this is a very nice product. They sent this to me, and they sent pictures of, the precious metals that I purchased. Here's what they are. Here's what they're called. You've got so many of this and so many of that.
You can do a direct rollover, one IRA to another.
On an Oxford Gold YouTube channel, they say it's easy to buy and store your gold.
Once you've picked out your precious metals, everything gets shipped directly to the depository of your choice.
So Dahl placed an order and was told those physical gold coins would be sent to a depository in Utah. It was all supposed to be handled by a company called Equity Trust, but then he received a letter saying Equity Trust was no longer working with Oxford Gold.
So I don't care what's going on with your companies, but you've got my money. And so either
It's gone.
all I want you to do is to send the metals into the depository. That's all I need you to do.
You've been made
If
off.
you can't do that, send the money back to me.
Dahl then called the depository company that is supposed to have his gold coins.
So I called Brics in Salt Lake and says, hey, where is my order? We have no knowledge of your order. Your order's not here. Who are you?
We first reported about Oxford Gold several weeks ago. After our story, people from all over the country are reaching out to us, as far away as Florida, North Carolina, Tennessee, Washington State, and more. They tell us they sent tens of thousands of dollars to Oxford Gold. The State Department agency that oversees this is the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation. It wouldn't talk about Oxford Gold specifically, but says people need to be careful when trading metals.
They're targeting senior citizens, and it's because they have the highest amount in their retirement funds. And that's really what these precious metals dealers are focusing on. And they're trying to encourage people to sell securities in their traditional retirement accounts.
These photos show the company office on Wilshire Boulevard. It was closed and appeared to be empty. On Oxford Gold's website, a number of bad reviews, most of them within the last 3 months. Many of the posts contain phrases like stole my money, stolen funds, and Oxford Gold is a scam.
And then I found out about 2 weeks ago, actually through your initial story, that apparently closed doors there in Los Angeles and are no longer to be found.
That was my daughter's wedding money.
Stephen Petty also sent money to Oxford Gold. He says the company urged him to invest.
They're all, same story. They're high-profile people contacting you, telling you it's a good thing and you're making a good decision and we're here to help and I'll get this solved. And I'm here minus 50 grand.
We contacted the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, the federal agency that oversees these types of transactions, to ask about Oxford Gold. They told us we can't comment on investigations. We do follow up on tips and complaints. The Department of Financial Protection and Innovation says in California, a number of these companies are not required to register before they operate. So you have no way of knowing much about them before you invest.
But we do have a strong anti-fraud statute. So if there's any misappropriation of customer funds, if there's misrepresentations or omissions in connection with the offer or sale, or if there's a scheme to defraud, then we can take enforcement action against the company and the individuals that are operating the company.
The CFTC, however, says getting money back is highly problematic because usually these people move quickly. We tried to contact Oxford Gold Group several times. The phone lines...
All right, so basically it's a Madoff. This guy, instead of taking physical hold of his gold, has his money in stocks, wants to move it into an IRA, a gold IRA. So he's moving it from his IRA to a gold IRA. So he's getting out of the stocks. Good point, getting out of the stocks. Bad move buying a gold IRA. You don't get the money. You never get the gold because there is no gold. They're just going to tell you a gold. I don't know. It's gold you can't get. We don't want gold you can't get. We only want gold that you can hold and put in your safe. You want the gold, you don't want this Oxford to have the gold or give it to some other person. Because at the end of the day, even if they did it, you wouldn't get the gold because they don't have gold. It's like the ETFs with Rick Rule and Peter Stroud. I mean, you're never going to get your gold out of the ETF because there isn't any. It's like 2,000 to 1. So we have 1 ounce and we'll give it to 2,000 people and say, you have gold, and you don't, and you're going to get screwed on it. That's how these guys work. And the same thing with these IRAs. So just to do it, you're an idiot because you should only do physical. Sell your stocks, go to the gold store, buy your gold, put it in your pocket and dance out. It's the only way you should do it. You should not do anything else. So he says, well, look at this perspective and look how nice it is. Well, what do you want? How do you want them to scam you? So of course they're going to do that. But you've got to understand, it's got to be, take your money and go to the gold. You have to get physical gold. That's why I tell it to you, and you can't get burned. Nobody gets burned in physical gold. When I saw this story yesterday, I know I did the video late last night when I was on YouTube, and I happened to see it, and it's just ridiculous that people could be this stupid. And I looked up Madoff, and geez, I got Madoff. I can't imagine why. Well, it happens, but that's the problem. So, I don't know what to say. I mean, I don't know how many times I can tell you buy physical, buy physical, buy physical. Because once you have it, nobody can take it, and you're not going to get screwed. But I go to the store, I give them money, I get it. I walk, and when I'm in my car, I have the gold in hand. I am not waiting for SD bullion. I am not in this situation. He gives the guy all his stock, I don't know, $100,000, and then he loses it all. You want to risk $100,000 on somebody you don't meet and you don't know? This is the problem. You don't know these people. You've never met them, and you get scammed. Well, this is the way things work now. Everybody wants to scam everybody. Nobody wants to work. Everybody's just very crooked, and they're thieves, and it's a different world. You got to be prepared for. There's very few honest people like me. If you dealt with me, you would never get screwed. But I'm telling you to get into physical, not to get into paper, and that's what the problem is. So, this is what is really happening. Get into physical. Get out. Don't buy ETFs or don't buy these stocks or don't IRA, gold IRA. If you don't take ownership of it, it isn't yours, you're going to get fucked 100% of the time because they don't have your gold. Personally, where are they going to get it from? It's all gone. The other reason I can go to the gold store and get gold is somebody has sold it to the gold store, and I'm buying somebody else's gold, not the gold store's gold. But he pays for it. And he knows I'm coming around the block. He pays them spot, and he charges me 100 over spot. I'm happy to get the gold, so I don't mind. I understand that's the game, but he's not scamming me. I get the gold. The gold's good. It's real gold, and that's what happens. So that's really the problem. You just got to be careful. But again, our goal is to get out of dollars. The dollar's no good. You need to hold gold. These dollars are worthless. And the quicker you understand that, the better you are at it. They are not worth anything. And I don't know what the market's doing today. Let's see what the stock market's doing today. Well, let's see what gold's at before we get there. Gold is 2472. No, it should have a new number. 2472. So at 5 o'clock, 2472. Silver's right around 28. So gold went from 2429 at midnight to 2472. Well, it's up $41 today. So good news there. And let's see what the stock market is doing. Bitcoin I saw was 59,000. No, I don't want to see FX. Stocks today. Dow ends 140 points lower as traders digest last week's volatility. So it's at 39,003. News about inflation updates. It's key inflation news. This kills me. Dow drops as investors await key signals. Well, it's not real. The data from the government's all bullshit. So what you're waiting to hear what the government's going to tell you, and you trust the government? You're out of your fucking mind. We already know what's happening. We know the dollar's going out. We don't care about the stock market. We know the banks are in big trouble. We see what's happening in China and Japan. They're all going bankrupt. So what do we need to hear from the Fed or the government about anything? Please. What else? So, again, we saw Egon's little post here. So you feel bad for the guys, but they only have themselves to blame for the guys that got Ponzi schemed by this gold, by Oxford Gold. You kind of feel bad for the people, but then you realize they did it to themselves. They don't understand. They're playing a game they don't understand. So imagine going and playing craps or blackjack and not knowing the game. I wonder why you lose. Well, it's pretty simple. So with these guys with gold, they don't understand it. You want physical, and you got to go to a store to get it. And you got to get your money. You got to sell your stocks. Get the stocks, get the money, and buy gold with it. There's no other way around it. You must go to the store and buy physical, or maybe SD bullion, maybe on eBay. But anyway, you do it, you've got to get physical gold. That's it. And these 401ks and pensions. The bottom line is you've got to get physical. It's the only thing that will save you. So I was talking to a guy in the hot tub today, He's really heavy and he's worried about his heart. And I said, just stop eating sugar and carbs and don't eat. Eat at noon, eat at 6, and that's it. And you're done. And that's it. Just the weight will fly off you and your blood pressure will go down and your heart will be fine. And by fasting, your, what do you call them? I can't think of the word right now, will be fine. It'll clean you up. So you just scratch your head with this guy. Daria, I'm very confused with her right now. She said, well, we'll meet when it's safe and convenient. And I go, what the fuck does that mean? We're supposed to meet in the summer because your daughter would be out of school. So you don't need to help her with homework. And I thought your mother was going to help us. Well, my mom's living her own life. Now she's coming up with these excuses. I don't get it with her. So I said, so what are we doing now? I mean, so I'll fly into Russia. Well, no, I won't be able to spend a lot of time with you. I need to be home with Alina and have her and do her homework, which I question how much of the homework Daria can do in the first place. And so I'm just like, well, what do you want me to do? I'm getting really much. So we'll see. I says, tell me what you want me to do. I says, well, I want to go somewhere. This is crazy. I'm waiting for you and you're keep dicking around. When the hell are we meeting? And so she says, well, you can travel if you want. I don't want you to stay home because of me. I said, well, thank you very much. I was going to do it anyway. So we'll see. Do you want to meet me or not? I mean, I got Jenna, so it doesn't matter to me. I'm planning on meeting her in October, I guess. It was September, but now it's being pushed back. So I'm like, okay, I'll meet her. But what do you want? Do you want me or not? You intended you wanted me, and then I don't know. So again, you got to be stoic. But now I'm at the point where, okay, I'm done with helping you. You're on your own there, Joe. Tell me what you want to do, because it looks like we're not going to meet till your daughter's done with high school. I mean, what the fuck? So I don't know what to do with her. I don't know. She's playing games. All of a sudden, her mom was coming to watch, and now she's like, well, she's got her own life. Yeah, we know that, but also we got our life. So what? We can't live our life. So I don't know. It's very frustrating. I'm very frustrated by it, but we will see. And like I said, I'll go meet Jenna, and that's it. Maybe I'll go to Vegas for football season, but I'm getting tired of Vegas with its strict these resort fees. So if I want to stay at the Tuscany for $60 a night during the week, it's now but add 60 more for resort fee. So the $60, so where you would get a nice room for a good price Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it's not like that anymore. The resort fees are killing it. I don't know who's going to Vegas and liking these resort fees. So we'll have to see about that. And I don't know. That's where I'm very confused with the whole thing. So I'm just scratching my head going, well, I got football coming up, so I'll just concentrate on that. Women, you can't, I don't know. So there's nothing I can do. You're just playing me so I can help you with rent. So I'm a nice guy. I help you with rent. You want to fuck me over? I don't know what she's doing. I really don't. I'm asking her. She said, well, I don't want to hold you. If you want to travel, I don't want to hold you from traveling. I'm like, thank you. I appreciate that. But she did hold me. I would have met Jenna in July. But I kept saying, well, wait, if Daria, then I haven't met Daria, so I want to meet her. I know about the daughter, so I really don't get that. I'm not sure what I get from her with the daughter. Why don't I just come and stay with you, and then I'll be there, and then you can take care of your daughter. I don't know what's wrong with that. Are you? Is there a guy you got a boyfriend there that you don't want me to see, or what? Which is what I think when I keep losing her for a week. But anyway, she really frustrates me. Jenna, we talk every day, and it's funny. I sent her the Chinese thing where everything's going bankrupt, and she says, "What do I care? I'm in a war. I live in the Ukraine. I live in a war. I don't care what China." So I'm just showing you how they're collapsing, and it's going to lead to it's the domino that's going to lead to all the other things collapsing. Anyway, then I told her to buy some perfume. So I sent her some money today. Well, buy perfume. She says, I don't have food. I'm not going to buy perfume. Well, you can buy a little bottle for $20. I mean, you don't have to buy the big bottle that I buy her. It's just like, forget it. Just go eat. Go buy your food. Why don't you try getting a job, and then you can get your perfume. So I'm just getting frustrated all over the place. Kind of a weird day. Anyway, so that's what stoic means. You just stay strong. I don't know. And that's it. We will see. Anyway, so all I can say is buy your gold. Let's go through baseball again. Cleveland under 8, 2 units. Cincinnati under 8.5, 2 units. Houston over 7, 3 units. Minnesota over 8.5, 2 units. The Yankees are 5 units. The Dodgers over 8.2. Toronto over 9.2. The San Diego over 8.3. Arizona over 8.5, 3, and Atlanta 3. I'm just a little tired today. I had to do some driving early in the morning, and I got back. I went to the pool, so I'm just a little bit drained. But anyway, get out of dollars into gold. We'll hear let's listen to Egon one more time. It's always good to hear Egon.
Revalue gold based on inflation, or even on John Williams' shadow statistics inflation, gold should be $20,000 or so. And the same with silver, should be much, much higher. And so it's still far from catching up with purchasing power, or the loss of purchasing power, the gold price and silver. I think we're going to get into an era now. I talked about gold being revalued in a substantial way, but also silver will obviously going to start dropping fast. When the move starts, often silver moves 2-3 times as fast as gold. But as we tell our clients, it's not for widows and orphans, because it's very volatile. And if you buy it high and you see a massive correction, it'll scare you out. Silver is more for speculators, but even for investors, silver is now an interesting investment, because this obviously going to move over $50 and probably a lot higher than that. I mean, I wrote an article many, many years ago saying that if gold reaches 10,000, which is in paper money, which is very likely, gold silver ratio coming down to, let's say, 15 or something, silver could easily be in the many hundreds, for example.
Adapt technology is an invention.
How much do you think?
All right. Well, we've gone through a lot of this already. Mark McGuire, we've gone through a couple of times. Canada collapsing. The gold guy getting made off. China bankruptcy. We went through that yesterday. Most developed city in China is going bankrupt. So it's all coming here is the point. It's a domino. If it happens in China, it's going to affect us, because the rich guys are going to want their money, so they're going to take it out of our stock market and our banks. And that's really what you have. So, I don't know what else. That's the problem with it. So it's just it's coming. So be prepared. We try to prepare you for what's going to happen ahead of when it happens. So I said gold 2,500. It's 2,500 today. The spot, the regular price 24.72. The spot 25.11. So you can see it's gotten into the 25s, and here it goes. Now we should see 3,000 relatively soon, probably by September. And as you can see, there was no down derivatives in gold today. It was just, from midnight till now, it's gone up $40, and there wasn't any chopping. That's the only thing Egon gets wrong is he doesn't understand the derivatives. He says, well, it's volatile. It's not volatile. Silver goes down because of the derivatives, not because of supply and demand economics, free market economics. So that's a whole different thing. Try to buy your, you want to buy your Mantle cards, your Rolexes. You want to get out of dollars. And if you don't want all gold and silver, I got a bunch of gold and silver, and I got some football cards. I don't have a Rolex. Never thought about that. I do have a Tag Heuer. Maybe that's worth a few dollars, but you want things that are very limited with very much demand. And a lot of reasons the Rolex has a demand is it is limited. So don't kid yourself. If people know there's low supply, there'll be high demand. Oh, we only made 10. Oh, I want it because you only need 10. Because they're all looking to make money, and everybody has their own way. But stock market, I wouldn't try to make money in now. For sure not the bonds. For sure not the banks. For sure not in the dollar. So it leads you to Rolexes and Mantle cards and gold and silver and maybe a few other Van Goghs or Picassos. But those are hard to sell. Okay, you got a Picasso. How are you going to sell it? You put it up at auction. When's that happen? Gold, I can run to the gold store tomorrow or right now and go sell it. Well, not now. It's closed at 5, but I could go tomorrow. I think he was closed all day Monday. I could go tomorrow at 10 a.m. and here's my gold and give me an ounce and he gives me money. I'm going to do that. In 5 minutes, I'll have my money. Picasso, you can't. You need an auction. Rolex, I don't know how you'd sell it. And then I guess you'd go to the jewelry store. Or, well, I guess you can sell it on eBay. So you can always sell normal stuff on eBay. The problem with gold and silver on eBay, you can't sell it. You're going to get the spot price. You're not going to get the market price. So you really don't want to sell it on eBay, even though it's liquid. And there's commission that you got to pay. Gold is king, TK. Yeah, I've been telling you that. Pawn shops you can go to. You don't want to go. They won't give you a fair price. You want to go to the coin store, jewelry store that you buy it at. They'll give you spot. The pawn shops, I don't believe, will give you spot. Maybe they will in gold, but I don't believe so. They'll give you I need to make a profit, and that's it. So that's where I'm at with it. But I mean, you can't do paintings at pawn shops. I've tried, but you can't. They're very low. You're better off at the coin store, jewelry store than you are. Like a Rolex, I would never take to a pawn shop. We need to make money too. Yeah, well, good for you. I don't really give a shit. But if you go to the jewelry store, you're gonna, a lot of people come in to sell their gold and silver and their coins at the jewelry store. I see that all the time. I went there last week, and the guy's sitting there with his collection, and the guy's going through it. So people need money, and they're pulling out their old coins and gold and silver, and I saw like the yellow dollars. I don't know what they were, and they're just selling it. And these guys will buy it if they can sell it. Gold and silver is simple to sell because Howard's going to walk in and he'll buy it. However, the gold, depending on, like if you sold them like silverware, that's stainless steel silver, they will get it melted and sell it as coins. That's the beauty of silver and gold. You can melt it down and create whatever you want out of it. So we will see. But I see somebody found a bunch of gold coins from the Roman times, I guess. I love that one. I found there was a box of gold coins. Really, Marcus Aurelius had it. That's hysterical. So I see that on Google. I don't know if I still have it. Let's see. I don't see it. It was there yesterday. No, it was there yesterday. Anyway, we know one thing's for certain: the governments print the money to death. We know that's a certainty because they don't want to admit they're wrong. So as they overprint it, as the economy's slow, like in China, they keep printing the money to stimulate the economy, but that's not what stimulates the economy. You need a free market to stimulate the economy. That's the crazy part. No, that's what's happening there. So we will see. So not sure. That's about it. So we'll keep our eyes on football. College football is August 24th. I think it's 2 weeks. It's a week and a half on Saturday. Florida State, Georgia Tech will be a lot closer game than we think. And Oogly or Boogly will keep us in it. And then we got SMU, Nevada. And then I think the 29th, which is, I think, a Thursday or a Friday is when it starts. I think it's Saturday and then the next Thursday, and then we go. So we will see. Anyway, so that's what's new. I didn't get a chance to watch enough YouTube to see what's going on. The market is down. Gold's over 2,500 on the spot, and everything looks good. So we're getting there. We know what's going to happen. So get ready. The Titanic's about to sink, and we're in our lifeboat. Don't get made off into buying IRA stocks or gold IRAs. They're not real. You can't trust if you don't know the company you're buying from. I wouldn't buy from them, and because it's Wall Street, I certainly wouldn't buy from them. Anything to do with Larry Fink and BlackRock, I certainly wouldn't buy from. Just you understand it. You know gold's the out, so just go to the store, give them money, give them your fake dollars, and get gold. Give them the bullshit. Yeah, I know it's got a 1 on it, but I know it's not worth anything, and give me gold. So anyway, that's what we'll see. So we've got to figure that out. Anyway, that's what's going on. So have a good day, everybody. I'm just kind of tired. We'll start looking at, well, we got baseball. We'll look at football next week until we get it. Again, week 1, we're looking forward to. I'm glad to see most of the good teams are smart enough to play their starters, except for the Lions aren't that smart. They don't need. Well, the guy on the radio goes, well, these predained inter team scrimmages are better than games. Is he out of his mind? They're all controlled. Nobody hits anybody. You can't hit the quarterback. No, that's not better. The better is actually playing game situation where you're getting rushed and throwing passes, not a controlled scrimmage where you're in shorts and maybe you're in shoulder pads and you can't hit the quarterback. Yeah, I don't think that's better. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, these guys are kind of, go Lions, and you just crack up. Anyway, so have a good day. www.teaserking.com, and I will see you tomorrow. If anything pops in like yesterday, I'll come back on. If there's any other questions or comments, let me know. Bobby and Luke, take care. And I'm going to eat and just relax. I'm a little tired. Okay, everybody. Have a nice day. Thanks.